Thank you so much, sir. Just a reminder that we will also be recording this session and we are live on Facebook as well. Just a thought to keep in mind, if you want to share your videos or you want to share your audio, it would be necessary to keep this in mind. Um, Next, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Milind Chadra, who is the co-founder and CEO of Grab Loyalty. That's the loyalty solutions wing of the MaxMobility group of companies, and he is working out of Lucknow. He has a lot of really big food and beverage clients under his wing, and he has been doing a phenomenal job with them. Milind, would you like to come forward on the stage and present yourself?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Priyanka. And I think yeah, we've been in the loyalty segment since around 4 years now, and it's a very I'm also very happy to get to know about the manufacturing sector and how we can actually we'll also be presenting certain things related to the loyalty program in the manufacturing sector. So yeah, so I think let's see how it goes. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Milind, for that amazing introduction of yourself. Can we now please welcome Mr. Amit, sir, which is Mr. Amit Lakmani, and he is the co-founder and CEO of Max Mobility, which is the main parent company, the Max Mobility group of the Max Mobility group of companies. He is mainly invested in finding really great business solutions based in technology for any kind of business problem that might be appearing in front of you. So whether that's Salesforce automation, whether that's building a mobile app so your events uh, go with a really good flow, or whether that's developing a survey solution, we have it all under one wing. Mr. Amit Lakmani, could you please come up and give us a few words of introduction? You are on mute, sir.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Priyanka, and thank you to everybody for tuning in and sparing your time. I'm really excited to be, coming and sharing our thoughts on how really we can help as an organization and a group to assist all the manufacturing companies on their digital journey. We really believe that the digital transformation is going to change the way we live, the way we are doing businesses. And we believe with our 2 cents, we'll be able to add a little value to all of you who have joined in. Um, so thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Amit sir, for that amazing introduction. I think without further ado, we can actually begin our session, our really great digital transformation masterclass that we have prepared for you today. So up first, we have Mr. Amit Lakmani coming up and telling us about how we can make our businesses future proof with tech solutions. What are some of the steps that we can take right now to automate our business and take it to the next level, so that when the next hopefully it won't happen, but when the next coronavirus type of situation hits us, we are ready for it all. So Mr. Amit Lakmani, you have the stage.
Yeah. Thank you. Just give me a minute. Okay, can you guys see the deck? Priyanka, are you able to see the presentation
Yes,
now?
yes, I can see everything.
Okay, without delaying much, in the interest of time, I'd like to begin this session and share the 2 cents in terms of how the entire manufacturing industry has been transforming in the not only in the post-pandemic world, but even before. I think it's been almost 4 to 5 years now that there's been tremendous innovation happening in the manufacturing industry. And this is a quote that John Chambers had said around almost 8 years ago, but then it's still true. And I think it'll keep on holding true for as long as we can in the foreseeable future. So at least 40% of all businesses will die in the next 10 years if they don't figure out how to change. Obviously, pandemic has taught us that. I mean, earlier we were still thinking that, okay, it'll take some time, but I think now in the post-pandemic world, this has become a necessity and everybody has to keep on adapting. So 30-minute session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these 5 or 6 topics where basically we'll take you through in terms of what should be the digital transformation roadmap for a manufacturing industry. If you are somebody who's already operating a manufacturing industry or a distribution-led company, which is in operations, then I think these are some of the steps that you guys can start taking, which will, I think, will really help and add value to you guys as we move along. So I've already, pretty much highlighted that the transformation is really required in most of the industries, and obviously the manufacturing industry is something that has been going through rapid transformation. There are so many new technology tools and things that are coming up now. There's cloud, the 3D manufacturing, the RPA-driven processes, IoT. There are so many things, and at times people get a little confused with these tech jargons. So I hope I'll be able to simplify things and make it easier for you guys to really take step-by-step approach. Now, very impatient. They expect the services in real time. The production, the way the costs are going up in the post-pandemic world, people want to achieve just-in-time production and all those stuff. And digital adoption is solving some of the biggest challenges that is being plaguing this industry. A few of those important categories where I think this digital transformation can really add value is it can really help unlock inefficiencies in the supply chain. Supply chain is a big major operational hurdle and a cost-sensitive thing for all the organizations. Number two, it will also help improve collaboration down the line and engage with all the customers and suppliers. And number three, obviously the way the production line and production units have started working now, the entire operations are now being reimagined with digital plant, which we are terming it as Industry 4 these days. So we'll touch upon a few of these topics one by one. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So, before you get started with digital transformation, a lot of companies, we have seen a lot of organizations, they just straight away jump into implementing some kind of solutions, mobile apps, technology tools, and they think that that's going to solve their problem. But, things are not so simple, because any such innovation at scale requires an integrated and seamless approach across all business functions. You cannot just create one app or one application in silo and expect it to do wonders for you. So this is something that was done by McKinsey actually, and this is an index which tells you whether you are ready to, what are the steps you need to take to become ready for implementing all this digital transformation. Now, there are 3 key building blocks, as you can see. One is, obviously, we have to keep all the processes which have to be aligned towards implementing of digital transformation, so that all the entire organization, the steps, the process, checks and balances are in place, so that when you start doing this digital transformation, most of the everything is aligned inside the organization. Number 2, of course, technology is another core building block, where you need those technology tools, tech stack, and innovation that will help you automate all your processes and communicate with people. And then only technology and process is not going to help. At the end of the day, senior management has to drive this entire initiative, and entire organization building there has to be a culture of digital. It's not only about implementing tool and processes. So people have to be trained, the talent has to be available, there has to be structures in place. So these are the 3 key building blocks before anybody starts even thinking about adopting and doing this. And of course, it spans across all the business functions, be it operations, supply chain, product life cycle, automation, all those things. And then all the automation and connectivity, intelligence, everything has to be done together. And there are things where you can, customers can do a vertical integration, which means that you are integrating all the things in a specific business function. And then there's a horizontal integration where basically you have a integrated approach across all business functions. So you automate everything which touches all the business functions of the organization. So, and to capture the value of digital and manufacturing and throughout the supply chain, most of the companies are essentially developing use cases in 3 main areas. As you can see, there are 3 key focus areas where most of the organizations, manufacturing organizations, are investing time, investing in tools. One is connectivity, second is intelligence, and third is the flexible automation. Now, most of these category of tools and technologies are essentially adding a lot of value in various business, various kind of business processes, optimizing procurement, forecasting and demand planning. I mean, in the earlier days, people used to have a vague idea about, it was more of a gut feel. You used to forecast and, you used to produce in the hope that all these goods that you are producing is going to be sold. Now the things have become much more data driven. With real-time tracking of inventory location, getting a forecast immediately, instantly to your these things. Tools like, as we talked about, Salesforce automation, getting insights from field, instantly gives you that data access, which helps you to forecast much better. Then you can completely digitize your manufacturing and assembling, which a lot of these organizations like Amazon, DHL are doing today, where the entire robotic process automation is helping them, reduce the time to assemble products and do their manufacturing. Plus, there are technology tools like 3D and these things. And of course, again, streamlining distribution and delivery, where you can use AI and a lot of other automated tools to make your distribution and delivery very agile. So that's the agenda, and these are the basic use cases where a lot of people are trying to use these technology tools. Now, as we said, there are 3-4 major pain points that is plaguing the industry, and one of the largest ones is obviously the supply chain. I mean, in today's world, the shipping of goods and the way things used to move, it was all in silos. I mean, there were different plans. There are different plans was transporting goods to one area and the other. There was hardly any visibility. Hence, digitizing the supply chain should be the number one priority for any manufacturing organization. So, as you can see the difference, I mean, in the earlier days, the forecasting was inaccurate, as we already touched upon it. The demand planning was very, wayward. And in the digital, the moment we move to the digital supply chain, everything is going to be completely digitized. We get complete visibility of all aspects of the product life cycle, and everything is data driven. You get real time inputs into everything, and accordingly you try to digitize the supply chain. And the key enablers of supply chain transformation, the technologies that are driving it, are basically cloud, geolocation, and data analytics. Today, there are a lot of companies are using GPS-based and RFID-based technology and tools and solutions to get instant location updates and then plan accordingly. We have got a couple of customers and use cases where they have also been predicting the most optimized routes for delivery based on the information that they're getting for the orders, and these are really adding a lot of tons of value to these companies. Now, so supply chain is one of the first things that we need to tackle. Once we do that, obviously reimagining operations with digital plant, which we said is Industry 4. This is how the industry has really progressed over the last so many decades. Earlier, we used to have the Industry 1 when everything used to work on mechanization. There was steam, power, and we used to have those large industries. Then with Ford and all those companies coming up, there was mass production, assembly line. Those concepts started coming into the picture. Then the entire industry moved to Industry 3, where all the automation started happening in silos again. People started using computers and electronics to a certain extent. And now we are seeing the advent of Industry 4, where basically all the machines are also connected. There's Internet of Things. You get AI, everything. When everything starts, all these business processes, when they start working together in tandem, I mean, that is what Industry 4 is all about. And I think this is where the future is going to be. Now, the entire Industry 4, there are certain core technologies that are driving this digital transformation in manufacturing. We have already touched upon some of the categories, some of the key areas where these things are happening. But these are the key 9 core technology stacks that most of the companies are using in a combination. So they are all being combined in various use cases. We'll go through a couple of use cases to get better visibility. So you've got autonomous robots, simulation, 3D printing, industrial Internet of Things, the cloud. We talked about 3D. So these are the pillars of technology tools that are really going to make a drastic shift going forward in the future and add a lot of value. Now, so once these technology tools was for industry and optimizing your operations. Now, one of the things that a lot of organizations were not clear about when they progressed was their complete visibility of their distribution and supply chains. Hence, the entire operations was very, very slow. It was monolithic. People used to move very slow. There was hardly any visibility. Hence, one of the key priority areas should be to improve collaboration with customers and suppliers. So it provides, there are so many better engagement tools that can be made today, which will drive customer engagement and sales momentum significantly. Now, some of the areas where a lot of these innovation is happening, obviously, is a seamless retail execution with instant access to data for the field force, distributors, and plant. The moment there's a seamless data interchange, there's a instant collaboration. People can take decisions immediately. People know the forecast. They know what's the inventory level, and all these things really help us really increase and improve the momentum. There are various digital channels available today, like mobile apps, chatbots, QR codes, which can be exposed to these suppliers and customers for various kind of activities that are happening on the field. Initially, before this mobile era and internet connectivity, there was hardly any visibility on the field, and these tools really significantly, improve the inventory turnover cycle and impact the ROI. Hence, this is, I think, another key area where a lot of focus is going on by large leading companies. So I will like to go through a couple of these use cases where, we have seen some of our customers doing it, and worldwide industry using and adopting these technologies. So one of these use cases is what we are doing for Coca-Cola, and which is true for any FMCG, CPG manufacturing company these days, where the entire process in the field, from sales to distribution, everything was automated. As you can see, I mean, from the field force executive to the back-end bottler, sales, marketing, everything is integrated and automated. So today, when even a bottle of cold drink is being sold in a pawn shop in our area, in our locality, Coca-Cola headquarters in the US, till up to the US level, are aware of what is the stock available at every lower end. Earlier, there was hardly any visibility in secondary sales. And this became possible because of all the automation initiatives that they took over the last 3-4 years, where they automated their entire supply chain from primary to secondary to even going to the tertiary levels and to the end customer. And in the back end, all these information is flowing to the production department, where they are getting real-time inventory updates and they are planning their production accordingly, and also optimizing their delivery routes according to the orders that they need to fulfill. That has significantly added a lot of value to their operations, and they're bearing the fruits. Almost 25 to 30% is the cost optimization that they have seen over the last 2-3 years, and even their sales momentum has been growing due to this. So this is one of the cases where we have ourselves implemented in-house. This is another very good example of a digital manufacturing innovation that is being done by a large airline manufacturer. Now, as you can see, this is what we were calling as the horizontal integration. I mean, in any manufacturing industry, during the production, one of the key spoilers of profit, or something that adds a lot to the cost, is maintenance. I mean, every time people are always reacting to maintenance issues. There are always things that they're always reacting, they're catching up. You can see in this example that how these guys have done a horizontal integration, which means all their components are integrated in a centralized platform, from the field force, which are using these tools to schedule and manage the repair and maintenance, to predictive supply chain, because they already have a predictive maintenance schedule, and everything is digitized, and that has really added tremendous value to this entire process. Again, Volkswagen is another great example of cloud. They've really used this Volkswagen Automotive Cloud in combination with Microsoft, where they're offering everything. Volkswagen in this car is offering all kind of IoT, all kind of smart homes and predictive maintenance issues. Everything is again centrally collated through this cloud. So they've adopted cloud in a big way. And I think in the automotive industry, it's going to be something that every other manufacturer is going to follow very soon. Now, autonomous robots are being used. Robots are being used in assembly lines a lot now. They are trained. It's all programmed robots. So basically, you can train them through demonstration. You can program it to behave. And then they have an AI engine. They can keep continuously improving, and they are obviously designed to co-work with humans. And basically the cost becomes so low that the investment comes back in a couple of years, and then you can keep on. So there is an example of there's a company called Baxter who have implemented these robots, and they work very safely with humans, and they adapt. So packing, loading, handling, all these very manual jobs that used to be done by laborers earlier, which used to be very cost and time sensitive, and now everything is being carried by robots. And this technology is being used across countries now, and I think India has also started adopting it. I mean, Amazon is also another example who are using it in robots in their warehouses these days. This is another great example where how a technology tool is helping them automate their entire process. This is a warehouse augmented reality system that is used by DHL, where there are people who pick up and pick up all the goods to dispatch, and they have to pick up very fast, so they have to work at such a scale. So through the augmented reality, they can really trace the location of the goods that they need to package. They have a barcode scanning tool within. They just scan the barcode and immediately pick up. They have an indoor navigation. So they save tremendous amount of time in locating and shipping goods. I mean, estimates suggest there's a 2% cost reduction in the this thing due to human errors and low training costs, which is completely avoided. And so, in addition to these things, there are also a lot of other use cases that can be used by augmented reality. But this DHL has been using it fabulously over the last 2-3 years. 3D printing again, which a lot of people have started. Not only 3D printing, I mean, people are now talking about digital twins, which means that any production process that one is doing today, before they actually go to the floor and start producing, they are really they're creating a digital twin, which means the entire process, first they look at it in a simulated environment before they go into production. And 3D printers is one such tool that a lot of these companies are using it before anything is produced. Now they create a 3D digital twin of the final product, and then they start producing in mass scale. I mean, GA has been doing it phenomenally well for all the airlines manufacturing that they've been doing. So I think this is another thing that can be really used for the benefit of improving all the production and all these things. Now, a lot of other companies, obviously, a lot size of one is basically people try, they do semi-automated production of a large, quantities, so that they have to do a very little variations in the end products. A lot of companies are doing this successfully. Bosch is another company which has been doing this for quite some time now, where they use all these RFID tags to do a batch of one size of lot and produce in a mass scale. I mean, that has really reduced errors, decreased the cost of production, and that has been another very successful thing that has been going on. So these are some of these technology tools that are being used. The way we used to do business is changing, and I think this is exactly how most of the smart companies are going to use these tech tools in combination, not in silos. And I think that is going to derive a lot of benefits for them in the long run. So that's it from my side. If you guys have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer. We'll be very, very glad to answer and take specific questions from you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amit sir, for that very informative session. I would now like to call upon Mr. Milind Shadra to take the stage and take us through some really great loyalty solutions that can be used as partner touch points that can help your manufacturing business retain customers and maintain great relationships with all of your dealers, distributors, employees, and therefore ensure more profitability. So, Milind, could I have you
Yeah.
on stage, please?
Yeah. Am I audible, Priyanka?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
And is my screen visible, right? My screen is visible, right?
Yes, your screen is
Hi.
visible.
Yes, thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. So yeah, today I'll talk about how actually we can actually implement loyalty programs, and there are various touch points in the manufacturing industry, starting from your production to the company employees, and then facilitators. That includes the distributors, and then we move on to the merchants, that is the wholesalers, retailers, and a lot of other people, and then the final consumers. So what we are going to discuss today is what I am actually going to present to you is how actually loyalty solutions can, and how rewarding these people can actually help us gain our business, gain the that's the final goal. That's how do we increase sales by implementing such things. So we'll start with the first thing. That's how can we implement these for our agents, that is the employees of the company. So that's the first level, because these people at the end go to the people, to the distributors and to the other people to sell the products. And how can we actually, so it's very important so employers are actually the main, they're actually the backbone of our companies. And so almost all the companies today, almost all the companies are doing something or the other for their employees. So what is happening? Some people have a, say, a yearly bonus or a half yearly bonus or something or the other. But what I feel is, or what the need of the industry and the need of the hour is, that we should actually have programs for employees that are, made properly, thinking about what are our goals and what do we actually have to achieve and how do we actually go about it. So I think that, so there we have to make a very good loyalty mix. So, we have to, we cannot just reward them on their sales कि भाई तुम इतना करोगे तो हम तुमको इतना दे देंगे, या हम तुमको ऐसे करेंगे. We need to see that it happens on a holistic level. So we need to see that, we need to incorporate each and every activity of theirs, not each and every activity, but the relevant activities. Like, we need to see that, okay, these people are, we need to make a percentage, for example, say their attendance part, ki wo bhi acha hona chahiye. And then how are they actually performing? Are they completing their tasks, on time? And then we should have a small part of that. And then we should have a small percentage of their sales thing. And, we should make a mix of that. So there are some very good facts that I was going through, and I thought that I should share it with you. So yeah, 89% of the employers who were surveyed, they say that that is actually the employee's experience has actually 89% of the employers actually say that this is very, very beneficial, basically. And then 85% surveyed said that it helped with the workplace culture. So the culture actually is, loyalty programs, help increase the help you get the workplace culture, improve the workplace culture and all those things. So then also the engagement with your employees also increase because you get to know a lot of things about them. There's a lot of data analytics and all those things we get to know once we are implementing such things. And then, so there's no doubt that goes without saying that there's a 21% higher profitability according to a report by Gallup, and 41% less absenteeism in the employers. So I think these are really good numbers, and I think so. That's. And then how do we start our employee recognition program? So what do we do? So I think it's very important that we figure out, why we want to start our employer recognition program. So we should have our goals in place first, then we should know, okay, this is our eligibility requirements, and then we decide on that, and then we determine how will we actually reward the people. So I just discussed that कि हम लोग को we should make a loyalty mix, कि हम लोग कैसे उनको reward कर रहे हैं, and how should we actually do that. So then once you do all those things, and then we can, actually select the award, and then we can actually kickstart the program. So this is a small part about the loyalty solutions on the employers. And then we come to the main part, that what can we actually do, or how can we actually incentivize our, channel partners, our distributors, and actually how can this help us to gain. So basically, B2B incentive programs have high potential because earned loyalty is long term and always results in higher returns. So what are the benefits of having these loyalty solutions for our facilitators, our channel partners and distributors? So today there's a lot of competition in the market. That's like that's very, very, this thing that almost like there is a lot of option for all these distributors, these channel partners, and they can sell any number of items they want to sell and any number of companies they can deal with. But so there's a lot of exclusivity contract, but even then, they don't get the motivation to do the sales. So I think that's a very important part, to have such solutions, so that we have something to beat the competition. There has to be something that gets us off the edge. We have to do something different. And then there's a lot of, once we start doing this, there's a lot of we can do a lot of segmentation and targeted communication. So today, if we have a loyalty program, so everyone is connected through technology. We know what our distributors are doing, how much sales they are doing, what is actually happening. So today, if we know there is a shoe, so if, for example, if I own a shoe manufacturing thing, and I know my distributor in, say, Varanasi is actually selling sneakers a lot, and then all this data is coming to our loyalty program. We know, okay, because any transaction that is happening is being tracked. So we know everything. And now what we can actually do is we can actually get, customized offers for them on the sale of sneakers. We can say, okay, if you sell, for example, we do a deal of the day thing. Okay, today's deal of the day for that distributor is that, okay, if you sell these many extra shoes, you get, these much, this is your additional bonus for today. So this is how we can actually go about it. and we can target our distributors, dealers, and all those people. So, and there's a very low cost implementing a B2B loyalty program. Because, for example, if we say that today Shopper Stop has implemented the loyalty program, but it's capital intensive because they have to make so many cards, they have to give out so many cards. There's a lot of cost that is involved. But in a B2B thing, the costs are it's like very low. So then actually it helps us increase. We can actually it's very easy to monitor our sales because each and every figure is there on a mobile. We can just see, okay, this guy from this place is selling this much, this is doing this much, and we can analyze everything, and accordingly we can take decisions on our level also. And we can also see that, okay, why is that person selling low, or a lot of other analysis we can do. So these are some benefits. And then I have a small case study that I thought it's good to present, because always it's really good to see live examples rather than getting into all these presentations and everything. So there's this company called Silver Chef. So Silver Chef deals in the manufacturing of hospitality, all the equipments that are used in the restaurants, the F&B sector, and they manufacture it, and they're doing it at a quite big. It's a very big thing. So they were very quite fed up of their, because the business was getting flat, and the dealers and distributors were actually not they were actually not doing a lot of, they didn't get the results that they were actually thinking about. And so they started this loyalty program called the Silver Lining. So the name itself says that whatever you do, there is a silver lining in that. You buy an additional product from us, so there is a silver lining in that. तुमने 100 रुपए खर्च करे तो तुमको कुछ एक जो वापस मिला, तो they were just, it was a very catchy thing that they actually did. So their objective was to build great dealer distributor relationships, thereby increasing sales. Thereby they launched Silver Lining Rewards. So how did they actually implement it? What did they actually do? So what they did was they had their branded cards, that the reloadable cards, which had the currency, whatever the dealer bought, whatever was he was buying, so he got his points in the card. So that could actually be used as cash. Like they could actually take the cash from the card, or they could actually, there were a lot of other rewards also that were set for them, and they could actually get the rewards. So this was the first thing. They had reloadable cards, and they had a mobile friendly website where everything related to the program was actually there, and every dealer, every distributor, people could just log in over there, and they could see their live dashboard. They could see everything what is actually happening. So it is very important, because technology plays a very important part. So today, if I'm a distributor, I open it, I see, okay, I'm just 1,000 points away, or maybe I'm just say 1 lakh rupees away from earning this reward. So I force it. I say, okay, I have to make these sales. I push the people ahead of me, ki, bhai, you have to do the sales. So there was a very mobile friendly website where they could actually see everything, and every transaction they made was punched there. So it was very, easily managed, you can say. And then it had a lot of advanced and interactive features in the dashboard. I already covered that. And when the website also, for the company also, the website played a very important role, because they could check out everything from there. What is happening, where what is happening, and for example, which distributor at which city is doing what right now, where which product is being sold, what is happening. So this is and the last thing, they did a lot of communicated market, a lot of targeted marketing, you can say, because now they knew, like, I was just sharing a little. I just shared with you guys that how we can actually do targeted marketing in this. This is what they also did. So actually, they targeted those people who were not doing their sales and who were lagging behind, and they could target on their behavioral patterns. So that is how they actually gained. And so what was the result? So Silver Chef loyalty program actually gained, their sales grew by 24.8% by implementing this loyalty program, and they had 100% retention of their customers, that is their dealer, distributors, and agents, their all these people involved, and 98% of all points earned by the dealers were actually claimed. So that is a very big, it's a huge thing. That it was a very successful implementation example that I found out. So I thought it was it would be very this thing to share with you guys. Okay. Uh, yeah. So now, if, for example, if any manufacturer, if we want to implement our own loyalty program in this industry, so I feel these 12 points are actually very important to keep in mind. So it's very important to define our business objectives and strategy first before starting or before implementing our loyalty program. It's very important to select our audience wisely. Okay, this is and accordingly plan our loyalty program. If we do something that is not, our audience is not liking that, then I think the result is not going to come. And understand the data requirements. Okay, we require this kind of, we don't need to understand this data from in our business. So we need to implement it accordingly, and we need to put all these small things in our the technological tools we are making for the business, and get the data out. Then the value proposition has to be, we have to create it, and it has to be defined according to our goals. And then we have to clearly define all program structures. We have to make it, we don't have to make it very complex. It has to be very easy so that people can understand and they can actually move forward and implement it. And the award points has to be frequently and consistently. And we have to communicate it with the people that, okay, you are lagging behind, you are these many points behind your goal or something like that. And then, yeah, then we have to track, analyze, and we just have to take it slow in the beginning, see, and then understand, and then make changes in the loyalty program. And I think this is something that can actually help us, and uh, it's a good thing to do, I think. Yeah. So yeah, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Milind. I'm sure that we all are excited to start all our loyalty programs now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So,
Welcome. Thank you.
So the natural progression from retaining our customers, of course, is to know how to get more customers so that we can retain them. And of course, we have an expert on getting more customers, which is Mithil sir. He will be sharing some great strategies or digital marketing strategies so that getting more customers digitally can be made easier for manufacturing companies. So Mithil sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Priyanka, and thank you once more for having all of you in this masterclass, and people who have tuned in live on Facebook and other channels where we are being streamed live right now. We really look forward to your constant patronage and participation in such workshops, because this is a series which we are going to do, and hopefully you all get some benefit. So um, I would like to first start thanking Amit and Milind for putting up a good perspective, Priyanka for making a start. So, and I have a couple of slides which I would like to take you all through. So when I look at manufacturing, I can't help but closely relate my journey with one of the brands which I have been associated with for the last 3.5 years now. And I guess my entire understanding of manufacturing as a domain has started primarily from that brand. Coming from a consulting industry, I have always liked getting deeper and deeper into a particular brand and a domain. And I think while we go forward and talk a lot about marketing 2.0, though Philip Kotler calls it as marketing 4.0, which is the advent of new age marketing. But I think for me, it's more like marketing 2.0, whereby the entire dimension of marketing has completely changed. What we used to see, or we used to term as conventional marketing, which was more outdoor, event driven, print driven in nature, has now started completely going digital. So I'll break my presentation into two parts, quickly touching upon the why. As Simon Sinek always says that, you know, you really need to know the why before you discuss the what and how. So the reason why we all are really talking about the advent of technology, marketing, data, Milind spoke a lot about data, is the fact that and the entire consumer ecosystem has actually grown empowered. And when we speak about consumer, it's not only about the direct consumer, but the entire partner network where you have your dealers, distributors, consumers, influencers, and even internal employees. So that ecosystem has grown very empowered. And so they have become very demanding, and they have become very tech savvy. They have become very internet savvy. And Google uses a beautiful term called micro moments for that, where it says that most of the activities which a person used to do physically years back today is being realized digitally. So whether it is I want to know, I want to do, I want to enjoy, I want to order food, I want to see a movie, I want to get myself entertained, even I want to build a relationship. All this are slowly getting digitally influenced. And that is exactly why we have been having numerous webinars and sessions all over the globe where people are trying to bring in this entire new concept of marketing. So with that as a background, let us really look for how marketing 2.0 impacts manufacturing as a vertical. How does it really amalgamate and gel with marketing as a vertical, manufacturing as a vertical? So in order to emphasize my point, I have taken a small case study where we will give you a small introduction to the brand. We will try to demystify the term called transformation. Now, transformation, as we use in a very loose term, is a very, very powerful word because it's multiple stages ahead of doing an automation or building an IT solution or doing marketing for your brand. Transformation is when you create a supply chain which is future proof, when you build a culture or ethos of an organization which is future proof, and especially in this VUCA world, which is a world which is ambiguous, which is completely things changing every day in terms of regulation, political scenarios, and everything. And especially we stand on a context where there's a lot which is changing in US. So transformation enabled by digital mindset is what we know as digital transformation. So we will try to demystify that term a bit more, and then we will try to see how, as yours digitally, we were able to meet the vision of a particular brand which comes from a manufacturing segment, because the whole idea is to give a takeaway to the audiences which allows them to see what needs to be done or what can be done when they are planning their transformation journey going forward. So here is the introduction of the brand. This brand is one of India's leading wallpaper companies. So it basically is a leader in home solutions or home furnishing, has a vision of becoming a brand which will cater to the entire home solutioning which you can have. Right now focuses more on wallpapers, has both normal and custom wallpapers, has a warehousing, has partnership with the top brands globally, has a very strong dealer distributor presence pan India, does business through trade. Now, when you look at a definition of such a brand, you really think that, I mean, what would this brand really look for? I mean, they are a very, very well-established brand, very, very strong brand. One of the brand which is basically known as the leader in the industry. So when I met their MD and chairman a couple of years back, and that was a very privileged meeting, and coincidentally, the discussion was that how do we use digital as a mindset, transformation as a keyword, and make the brand future proof. And this was in real sense. How do you make this brand future proof? And a lot about making this brand future proof was to do with the fact that this brand wanted to create a connection with their tertiary consumer. So distributor being their primary consumer, dealer being their secondary consumer, and end consumer being their tertiary consumer. They had a vision of creating a mind share in the minds of their end consumer. This was a brand which belonged to push category, and hence it was important for this brand, like we see the TMT bars or the cement manufacturers pan India or globally. They wanted to create what you call as TOMR, which is top of the mind recall. And this brand wanted to touch base with their consumers. And that was one of the vision to make the business future proof. Apart from that, they wanted to basically establish themselves as a top name in the Indian wallpaper industry. But all this had to be done under the grammar or constraint of keeping the trade intact. So they had a dealer distributor network, and they wanted to also, they were very circumspect. And I remember still when I had this question coming in from the marketing head of this organization, can digital help in expanding dealer distributor network? Can digital help in terms of building a mind share on digital, on dealer distributor network? Because for a B2C, we understand a social media, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. But what about B2B? How does my distributor gain out of these digital investments which we are going to make? So that was the second thing, the dealer distributor network consolidation. And they also wanted to understand how they could transform their business processes. So automating their lead management, some of which was touched by Milind in his thing, to create a digital catalog of their products readily available 24/7, to automate their sales force network, to automate their process of ordering, and last but not the least, to capture the secondary sales data. So now I guess the audiences or the people tuning in can relate that when you talk about a transformation journey, when a brand does, from whichever sector it belongs to, it is just not about creating a social media presence or doing a Google ad or running an Instagram story and blah, blah, blah. It's a charter which encompasses a larger vision. So there was a mindshare creation, there was a dealer distributor network consolidation, there was a business process transformation, and last but not the least, there was also an end consumer convergence to sales. So a digital commerce platform was envisaged. And this was an outcome of a strategy exercise, which was done with the brand and the brand sponsors and the brand owners for a period of a month or month and a half, where we created a set of digital charters and marketing charters, which would enable the brand from 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0 to 4.0. So from a marketing parlance, when I then in the last 3 years now have been privileged working for many other bigger giants on marketing segment. We handle a few Tata Group brands as well, but this learning now can be used as a canonical framework to understand the pain points or the key reasons why a manufacturing brand would get into digital transformation, automation, marketing, and most importantly, the sequence of things which will actually have to play the role in order to get to that convergence. So just a couple of examples to showcase how the entire thing then spanned. We worked together with the brand team and created a keyword authority for the brand, which helped them both at the dealer distributor level as well as the end consumer level. This was a perfect implementation of TOMR, because search engine authority or keyword authority is one of the best inbound authority which a brand can build for its consumer. So somebody searching for best wallpaper companies in India, which is more of a B2B search, and somebody searching for wallpaper for kitchen wall, this brand was present in the top pages of Google. We created mindshare campaigns, and we reached out to, in a year, on an average, we reach out to almost 40 lakh end consumer with almost 60 to 70,000 engagement. The channels got augmented. So there was a constant hammering of this brand's name on the mind of end consumer, both on the B2B and the B2C space. A set of channels were identified for B2C and a set of channels were identified for B2B. And it kept on happening, and which resulted, and finally, the 24/7 digital catalog got converted into a brand site, which till date has actually attracted almost a lakh plus users in an organic and paid manner, which is like a great thing. So constantly, so the digital campaigns or the digital communications or the digital transformation or the digital modeling of this brand was done in a very, very pragmatic manner. It's something, and now taking a clue from what that brought to the table. And finally, last but not the least, we also experimented with a digital PR component for the brand, where certain influencers were onboarded who created the voice of consumer for the brand. And we also created a set of tools and products which helped on CRM, which helped on Salesforce automation, which helped on ordering and distributions of product. So a manufacturing brand, which was a conventional brand, primarily relying on trade and distribution channel for their entire growth, now has become a digital enabled, tech enabled, process enabled brand 2.0. We still have a long journey to go, but this is typically where the brand starts. And last but not the least, the brand has now started gaining digital revenue also, which I think is the final golden mile which the brand team and the marketing team aspired for. So this is, in a very nutshell, taking a manufacturing brand as an example, a case study as to how digital transformation was applied. Just to summarize the entire point, what we have seen based on our experiences, when you look at manufacturing is a very complicated vertical because it's an amalgamation of B2B and B2C both. And when you are planning a digital transformation journey for your brand, you need to look at mindshare creation, touching both the B2B and B2C. You need to look at your dealer distributor or trade network consolidation. You need to look at your process automation. And you also, like Priyanka said, if a COVID-like situation again happens, and touch wood, it never happens. I think we've seen enough in our one life. But even a situation like that happens where the end consumer cannot physically visit your touch points to buy from you, you need to invest and establish your digital touch points, which can enable the consumers to buy your product. So that's the general framework which I thought I will present. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. And I really hope I could add some value to the entire thing. Thank you so much. Thanks. And Priyanka, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mithil sir, for that really informative session. I'm sure that we all are jumping to get to our top of the mind recall strategies, and I'm pretty sure that we've all gained a lot of great insights from this. So thank you so much for that. Um, Now that all of our 3 sessions are over, we actually have a little bit of a case study for all of you, wherein we've actually invited one of our clients to tell us about their digital transformation journey, and they take us through all of the things that have been spoken about in this particular webinar, and how this whole digital transformation journey has really helped him out in getting so much more benefit for his company. So allow me to share my screen just a second. Can my screen be seen by everyone?
Yes, we can see it.
Myself, Tamim Mansurwala. I am the managing director of Excel Wall Interiors. We are a small medium enterprise. We import and distribute wallpapers, and we are into this for last 22 years, more than that, in wallpapers all over India. I believe it was 3-4 years back, sometime in 2017. We were doing good, but we want to go to the next level. Our marketing team suggested that since we didn't have the deep pockets for ATL activities, so we had to go through the BTL route, and where we wanted to target a specific group of potential customers. So that's how we decided to go for digital marketing. When we met Mitulda, June 2017, at that point of time and that first meeting, after that we decided to go for a digital transformation. Initially, the thought was of digital marketing, but then we got to understand it's a wide spectrum. It's not only digital marketing, but it's more to that. We were clear that without upgrading ourselves digitally, we cannot progress in this field. So that's how we started going through it. It's like we never felt like that we are working with an agency. It has always been a family. They are wonderful partners. Experience as on date, it's great with yours digitally, no doubt about it. First, we actually initially started with strategizing and laying out the roadmap, like what we actually need for our organization. Initially, we spent few weeks to create a transformation roadmap for the brand, overlapping with core areas like sales and distribution, marketing, and customer connect. So these were the primary areas that we wanted to cover. And during this time, we discussed the brand persona, buyer persona, digital transformation blueprint with business objective mapping, and digital transformation roadmap with measurable checkpoints. And that's how the journey started. So if we say for digital marketing, we already had a website. We went through a transformation firstly for the website, reinventing ourselves in terms of brand identity, where we went through a fresh logo and fresh outlook for our company. We did our website where we redid it from the end consumer point of view. Initially, it was more focused to B2B. We were adapting digital marketing, so we went through a process where the website got overhauled from the end consumer point of view. Then all the digital assets were set like Facebook or Insta account, and it was there. Some of them were there, and then we redid it. And for that, we laid a strategy roadmap, how we want to project ourselves, what we want to convey. We took a 360-degree approach, I would say, from in social media campaigning like Facebook, Insta, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Second thing, what we since we are a B2B company and sales and distribution is our main focus. So, and we wanted to empower our teams with real-time apps, which helped us in increasing the productivity of the team. We went through an app where we could locate them, what they're doing, and it also helped them, the team immensely to perform. After this app, we also went for an app for the customers. Our customer is more B2B. So we went for an ordering app, which helped us immensely in tracking the secondary sales data. One is digital marketing, along with the app for the team, and then an app for the customer. So it was more of a 360-degree approach of getting ourselves digitally connected. Of course, this was the right decision. In fact, it could not be better than this. It helps us in enhancing our brand identity along with increasing the overall productivity of the business. Also, the efficiency of the field team enhanced many times since we went through this transformation. And we started seeing everything on the real-time basis, and lots of time, efforts, and energy was saved. During the pandemic, yes, the digitalization has been a great enabler during the COVID times. From connecting with the customers to connecting with the team, it has always allowed many team members to work from home, keeping them safe during the extraordinary circumstances. And I believe since we were digitally savvy, the initial 3 months, I would say, what everybody was trying to do was remain connected with each other because business was nowhere. But the team wanted that surety that, yeah, we are there. We wanted to tell the customers, yes, we are there. Customer also wanted to listen to us. So I believe psychologically also it helped the team and the customers a lot. I would say people who were not digitally connected, they really struggled, I believe. And in that case, we were lucky enough. In terms of sales, we are growing year on year at the rate of 15 to 20%. And yes, digital has helped us a lot. For the team, I would say that it increased their productivity many a times. It's not measurable actually, but we can understand they are more efficient, and we are able to communicate better with them, and we are able to reach them out. So in real terms, measurable terms, I would not be able to define it, but for sure, it has been a great initiative. I would say this is the best investment to make. It's basically an investment that we are making in the business, and this is the best investment to make in this digital age. And every company should go for digital transformation and adapt technology. That's the way forward.
Thank you so much for your patience throughout this video, and we hope that you have, understood at least a little bit of what our client has gone through when it comes to their digital transformation strategy. We actually have him with us today, so thank you so much, Tamim sir, for actually giving us this particular interview and also for being here today. Would you like to say a couple of words?
It was pleasure. It's always been a pleasure. Thank you for that.
Of course.
It was a great session. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Mirinda. Thank you, Amit.
Thank you.
Milen.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tamim bhai. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. So thank you so much everyone for this wonderful session. Do we have any questions that that are there for the panel right now, or we could answer them in the next 5 minutes and we could conclude after that? All right, looks like we don't have any questions right now. I did receive some questions through mail, which I would like to ask our panelists right now. And hopefully the people who are watching this at home via Facebook, or they watch it later via recording, their questions would be answered. So the first question is, if someone would like to get a digital strategy or a consulting sort of offering from any of us, would that be available? Would that be on the table?
Yeah, I think absolutely, Priyanka. And in fact, the whole idea of doing these master classes is to also, identify a set of businesses for whom we would like to offer a comprehensive growth strategy or a transformation strategy, as we call it, which encompasses the process automation, the consumer connect, the tech automation, and holistic thing, which Amit, I, and Milind have shared on the table. And we also would like to, so people who are reaching out to us through this particular masterclass, if they show interest, we are also open to take up a couple of such case studies in a manner of showcasing them the strength of digital. So absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Amazing. We also have a question for Amit sir. So Amit sir, we want to know about any customized solutions that you might have provided to any of your clients, which was based on their particular needs and wants at the time. And could you just give us a small brief about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, most of the solutions, our mindset always has been to, understand the problem that a business is going through and then provide a solution that actually helps solve them. That's been our approach from the beginning. So there are a lot of examples. I think Tamim bhai is there. Excel is one of the glaring examples of where we've been able to add value, where we've been able to really add a lot of efficiency in the sales process on the field. There are a number of other companies, organizations where we are able to solve one of the use cases that we have been very successful with in the FMCG companies has been their sales and distribution automation, that we've been able to really solve their problem of secondary sales visibility and a lot of leakages that used to happen on their schemes and discounts. and today, in fact, in the post GST world, today even the invoicing is happening on the mobile through our solution. So that is one, big key case studies that we have implemented. The second one that we've also been running for quite some time now, it's not related to manufacturing though, is that in logistics and all these things, we also have an IoT tracking solution where we've been able to, where we are offering it to schools as a school bus tracking solution, where ETAs are going to parents, and even the schools is getting all the visibility, and the school travel is becoming secure for kids. That's a solution that's been running for 8-9 years now. We've been managing almost a fleet of 25,000 fleet pan India now. And the same solution we have been able to give it to other industries like logistics and everywhere, where they're able to monitor their fleet and their assets on the field real time through GPS and geolocation technology. So there has been a number of such use cases where we've been able to, I think, address some massive pain points for our customers. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Amit sir, for that
I have,
amazing
sorry.
answer. Yes, yes.
I have a question. I can ask. This is for Mitul. Mitul, your inputs regarding client acquisition was really very enlightening. But I just wanted to know that, do you think enough awareness is already there amongst the clients, or you need to create awareness?
I think, yeah, I think Shravanidhi, that's a very, very interesting question you have brought to the table. I personally feel that there is a lot of awareness building which needs to be done, because somewhere down the line, whenever I have been meeting manufacturing sector people, decision makers, even people who are owning 400, 500 CR turnover businesses, they still look into this entire transformation like a fashion story. They believe that it's more fashionable to do digital rather than, that, because they're so engrossed into that trade and distribution and all that, that they do not understand the potential. But having said that, this entire COVID pandemic has actually acted as a trigger. And we, in fact, are right now talking to certain manufacturers of rice, traditional rice manufacturers, who are coming to us and are asking us for setting up those digital touch points and seamless consumer touch points. So I think two-part answer to your question. A, we need to build that awareness like we have spoken in the past also. And B, right now, I think is the right time to create those small case studies and prototypes for these companies so that they can understand the benefit. So that's the answer to your query, Shravani.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question, and Mitul sir, thank you so much for that brilliant answer. So with that, I would like to conclude our session for today, and just a reminder that you can find us, find Max Mobility, yours digitally, and Grab Loyalty on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And you can also view this video live again on Facebook. There would be a recording on Facebook, and the recording and the transcript would be shared again on email as well. So you can go through it whenever you have the chance, if you want to revise any of the things that our panelists have said today. So thank you so much for joining all of us, and thank you so much to our panelists for a wonderful evening and an insightful session. So signing off is the Max Mobility group of companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much. Thank you.